welcome to Rivalz Race Chat. Travis Cunningham filling in for the Mexico-bound Adam Ross. Travis, thanks for joining us here tonight.
Thanks, no problem. Thanks for thinking of me for our boy Adam.
Travis has got his hands in lots of things and also a racer himself, so we'll be covering lots of topics. We've got a jam-packed show, possibly 5 guests going to jump on with us tonight, so excited about that. Steve Ubben's going to jump on, Doug Leonard, Jeff Gottler, Ryan Turner, and possibly Kyle Steckley will all be stopping by to talk about what's going on. So, Travis, a crazy kind of week in the race world. We're kind of just switching the page. And did we lose Travis? Or he's got a bad connection there, Spence. So much stuff going on in the racing world. Let's talk about some stuff that's gone on this week with the APC series. You've had both Joe Lawrence and Kyle Steckley announcing they're going to be going ASA National Tour racing. I think that was a shocker for me, Travis. I know you're a dirt guy, but any thoughts on that? Like, it was a big eye-opener that the APC series, and Adam may argue this next week when he comes back further. He said, man, APC really put themselves out there as one of the stepping stones to make it in the States in big-time racing, with 2 of our guys getting called up this week.
Yeah, on the Steckley one specifically, honestly, I think that kid's kind of go the NASCAR route, so that would be the next step for him. And the car PC, when it first started, the car counts were so huge and started to drop recently, which kind of stinks. I still watch every race, still love every race. But, yeah, the kind of dropped off, so I can see how he would maybe go in probably NASCAR. The way to go, I would say.
Yeah, you kind of wonder, there's a lot of turmoil there, and I'm hoping Kyle can answer some questions for us maybe on how that's all going to work out, what the Team 22 racing plans are, will they be renting cars still in the NASCAR Canada Series? So many questions still to be answered. I see our first guest, Stephen Owens, has jumped on, and we're going to keep hustling right through here, Travis. I don't know, you may have to reconnect. I think we've got some issues there with Travis Spencer. Let me know what's up there. Let's bring Stephen on right now. Stephen, welcome to the program. How are you doing today, sir? Stephen? Okay. When we get Stephen back on, let us know. We are a couple minutes early for him. I did tell him 8:05, but I saw him in my screen. So we came back to it. Let's run the Kyle Larson Smith tie video. This would have been the one I sent you, Spencer, on Instagram right before we went on the air. Run that one if you can. So did you see this, Travis? This is the Smith tie car of Larson. What's the cost of a car like this?
Easily $200,000. In my opinion, all those titanium, a titanium is $600 a piece US for a titanium torsion arm alone, and all the Smith titanium stuff's super crazy expensive. So it's a bit much, but it's easy $100.
Can you roll it, Spencer, whenever you're ready? Just put it up there. Yeah,
that arm alone, right there, $600 US, right there.
How much?
$600 US, just for that one arm.
Just for the arm.
Just for the right front arm, whereas a normal one's about $100 for an aluminum one, right? Yeah,
that is insane.
It's pretty for a guy like me. All that stuff, even Danny Dietrich and Lance Deweese will tell you, all that stuff's just jewelry, really. But it is really nice stuff. But it is crazy money.
So why is it jewelry? Okay, it's expensive. It looks pretty, and that's a racer's way of saying it's not necessary. So is that because of minimum weight rules? Is that because, some places you don't need those savings? It is inherently stronger, correct? But, it's not really needed.
So the reason they brought out, the torsion arms is just because, a lot of times on a 410, a lot of times in the picture, especially at a place like Williams Grove where you really wing over hard, you can see, the aluminum arm a bit. So then they started taking the lightning out of the aluminum arms. Eventually just went to the titanium one. That is one spot where I could see titanium arm worth it, because that's the one that definitely gets super flex, and it's a little skinnier than the rear arms and stuff like that. Okay, would do enough. But left front is definitely where you see the right front. Why would we need a titanium arm on the right front? To me, it's dangling in the air half the time. You know what I mean? That one for sure is jewelry. But definitely on the brakes is. Yeah, those prices. But a normal aluminum arm is about under $100 US a piece up front. So But and then the brakes is a whole other story. Like that, you don't really need
Crazy.
brakes either. But you can, yeah, it's like $2,000 for a brake kit. Like a normal one's like 50.
All right, let's see if we can get Stephen Ovens on the program. Stephen, let's try this time. How you doing, bud? Are you there, Steve?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good. Spencer, I showed you the viewer card from Land of Legends for Stephen's segment. Stephen, that's why I brought you on tonight to talk a bit about, you're kind of on the Weekend plan, the same as us, free streaming, keeping it going, building things on that way. Talk to us a bit about, how that's working out and the plan for 24. Is that you're going to keep going down that route?
Oh yeah, for sure. We are firm believers. We saw, everything that you guys did to make it successful there, and we said, hey, how can we bring this to the Land of Legends? We were doing streaming, but we wanted more. We wanted more viewers. We wanted to be able to, have numbers we could take to our sponsors and say, hey, look what the potential is here. To market your business and get exposure like drivers in our area just haven't seen in a really long time. So it's really working well. We're teamed up now. We still stream for free on our platform. It's simulcast on Dirt Vision, and the combination of those two, we're now seeing viewership over 10,000 on a weekly basis, and we're only just 2 or 3 seasons into doing this free model. So to now be at that mark of 10,000 viewers weekly, it's opening doors. And as you guys told us right from the start, it's just a machine and a monster that's going to keep on growing. So we are absolutely sticking with it. And, if we didn't push all in already, we're definitely pushed all in now.
Go ahead, Travis.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna ask, like, the first year, did you have Dirt Vision every year, or were
No,
you
this was
like by yourself?
Yeah, so we were on our own model for year 1 and year 2, 2021 and 2022. We had our own platform in 2020, but it was all pay-per-view because of not being able to have fans in the grandstand. So 2021 was our first season going completely with the free model. We were on our own for the first 2 years. This past season was our first year with Dirt Vision, and there's a lot of reasons why that makes sense. We are a dirt car sanctioned big block modified track, and we have the Super Dirt Car Series a couple times a year, and it was just something that made sense for us, and it certainly made sense for them. Brian Carter said it best when we announced that partnership. This is a huge awareness campaign for big block modified racing. That's how they see it at WRG and Dirt Vision, and I'm glad that in this first year that everybody feels like we've all really benefited from this in one way or another. So this was our first year with them. We certainly saw a boost to that overall viewership. There's tens of thousands of subscribers that they're going out to on a weekly basis. So we definitely saw some uptick from that. But I don't want to discount the efforts that we had put into our own platform prior to that to get to the level that we were at before we made that decision to partner up. So it's really been a really positive thing.
Up here we've seen some of our real savvy teams kind of take it upon themselves and use it as a great marketing tool. And we've had a lot of them come back to us. Have you had some of the teams really embracing it, Steve, and going for it and saying, hey, this is really helping us?
Absolutely. Year 1, I had 5 drivers come to me and say, hey, help me market myself. Tell me what I got to do. Make a video for me. Give me something that I can take to sponsors and try to help myself. And I love doing that stuff. I really do. I mean, there's a lot of effort that goes into, helping the track make this thing work. But at the end of the day, if we don't have racers, we don't have to worry about the track and keeping that thing going. We've got to keep racers going. So that first year, I think there was maybe 5 drivers that wanted to do something like that. Last year, that number went up to 15 drivers that I helped put something together for. And this year, we're in the middle of that process right now. But what's different this year is there are new drivers that are. It's taken a couple years, and Clinton, maybe you can speak to this too. It's taken a couple of years for some drivers to kind of not get on board. It wasn't like they didn't believe, but they just kind of needed a little bit of assistance. Like, hey, what is all of this, and how can I use it to help me in my race team? So that I can make it to every single show on the schedule, and we're not scraping pennies in August to try to get to the end of the point season. So it's I've definitely would have seen that. And I'm kind of curious your feedback, Clinton. Like, have you kind of seen that same thing where each year more and more drivers kind of get on board and try to see what they can do for themselves?
Yeah, for sure we've seen it that way, and I'll let Travis talk because he is one of our racers. But I mean, even just the ability for the sponsors to be able to watch it, and see their dollars at work, I think that goes a long way. Even for us, I know we have a lot of sponsors who have business outside our range. Whether you've got a website, they're selling stuff online. So all those view counts are cashing into something down the line, and I don't think we're hurting the sport. That's probably, if there is a negative, Trav, maybe we are hearing that. People say, oh, everybody's just watching at home. I like to think everybody's watching. And, if I had to, so I'll get cocky with someone, Travis, and I'm putting this back to you. I'll say, well, how many people do you think are sitting at home now that were here before? 100 people? Well, I'll trade 100 people for 15,000 views any day of the week because it's going to turn into something. Travis, your thoughts on it as a driver who is hopefully benefiting from this free stream package?
As a driver, I've definitely been all for the live stuff, just for the fact that, like, you're talking to like a non-racer and you're trying to describe and stuff. It's easy just to log a quick little clip of something, and like that, you watch your own races. And then even myself, I've doubled my sponsorship last year, just by adding that to my proposal. All the guys every year and stuff like that. The only negative is like there is that one thing, like maybe end of the years when there's rough stuff, like so like it does black out Indianapolis 500. There is that ask you, but overall, we 90% good if you ask me.
We do have those nights, sure, on a questionable night when people are going to stay home, but I think it's on guys like Steven and I and our teams to make sure we lay down a hell of a show and make sure they were like, damn, I should have been there because they hustled through. I didn't have to stay home. But yeah, I think that. Let's flip the page, Steve, before we let you go. We have a jam-packed show here tonight. With Adam in Mexico, I filled up with as many friends as I could to make sure we wouldn't be alone tonight. Tanner Van Doren, let's talk about this young kid leading the indoor series. I know I just put you on the spot, but the reason I bring up his name to you is because I think you're probably the first announcer that I remember talking about this kid in iRacing here on G-Force a few years ago during the pandemic. Now he's 15 years old. He's leading the indoor series in, I believe it's going into Atlantic City. He had to get special permission from the police because he's only 15 to compete in motorsports. You can talk about that, and Spencer, you can roll the screenshot I sent you. But talk a bit about that, Steve, if you would, and this kid and his talent.
Oh yeah, and you're right. We saw it years ago. We knew this kid was going to be something special. I mean, back then he was racing. I believe his division was called the box stock class. I mean, he was just a young kid just getting started, and he is just. I mean, I say that iRacing doesn't always transfer to real life, but man, you just knew that Tanner Van Doren had an opportunity to really do something special. And man, he has really taken the bull by the horns and done that. And what's incredible, I think what's incredible about what Tanner's doing right now, Clinton, is he's doing it at the indoor auto racing shows. Like, this isn't on dirt. This isn't, he's been in big block modifieds. He was the youngest kid. I believe he was the youngest kid to win a sportsman race at Eastern States. None of this is a surprise at all for those of us that have been around him for 5 or 6 years racing online at first. And His nickname didn't stick, but his nickname back then was the Tiny Tornado, and that didn't exactly stick. He's grown up a little bit now.
Yeah, just like we're not calling Matt Williamson Mighty Matt anymore, or Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse.
They all grew up from that. Travis, anything you got for Steve before we cut him loose?
Just the only thing I got is we're having a 360 race at Canandaigua. They're Atlanta Legends. They don't have that much of them no more. It's a close one for me. I'm in Grimsby. It's like a 2-hour jaunt.
Yeah, that was we kind of shifted focus a little bit. We started that last year, and kind of shifted focus to just doing special events for our weekly divisions that are coming out and racing with us every week. It really wasn't any, there was no animosity, there's no negativity between us or any of the 360 groups. Now there's just one in our area. That was just really just kind of a shift in focus for us, was really trying to make sure that the special events we do, that extra money that we invest in those shows, we wanted to try to give that back to our weekly racers. I wouldn't put it out of the question in the future. I mean, the 360 sprints are beloved in the state of New York, but I think right now, not just at our track, but all over the state, there's a big shift of there's a lot more 410 shows that are coming in. And I think that some of that has got to have some kind of impact on what shows are being booked and which ones aren't. But for us, it was just a shift in philosophy, and that's what we're doing again here in 2024.
Right on, Steve. We'll stay with you. One last question. What's your opening date, Atlanta Legends?
April 27th. We got practice on April 20th, and then April 27th, we kick it off. Knock on wood, Mother Nature usually gives us one April show every 5 to 6 years. So we'll see what happens.
Happens up here, too. Best of luck, Steve. We'll follow your story. Steve Nubbins, Land of Legends announcer, and catch their stream every week if you can't be at Land of Legends. Travis, you're a bit choppy, but we're going to fix that up for you. Let's talk about a couple things. Kyle Larson said something this week. I know we're going to jump back to Kyle Larson because he's the easiest one, and these are on my notes that I want to talk to you about. But Kyle Larson made that comment this week that the top guys in the World of Outlaws were probably making more than half the guys in the Cup Series. I found that surprising. Everybody thinks you get to Cup and become a billionaire. Were you surprised that the top dirt guys are making more than the Cup guys?
2024, no. That wouldn't have been the case in the mid-2000s, obviously, but the way it is now and then the way it shifted, that didn't shock me at all, really. Just the way the sprint 410 so far, like now is the time to get 10s if you're ever thinking about it. Just the way the money's going, like the Outlaws only have drivers. So a couple 410s, you could sign up and go the old Bill Rose route and just get that tow money every week. And if you make the show, you get double tow money, really. So like I say, right now, 410 up, and the NASCAR has been in decline a little. NASCAR, but anything. But you can't say it's like it was 2000s with stuff like that. It's obvious the drivers won't be making. And them guys make Logan Schuhart bucks.
We're getting you a new link. I'm going to cut you off now. Spencer's going to take you to Zoom, and we're going to bring on Jeff. Jeff Gottler, while we get Travis rebooted up here. Jeff, welcome to the program. Are you back home? Got frequent flyer miles now? I saw you were in Daytona last week, and you're scheduled to be back in Daytona this weekend. How's that work, man? Do you take a vacation for a while? Do you fly back and forth? What's the story, Jeff? Do you got Jeff on there, Spencer? Can you hear him? Jeff, hello? We're putting Spencer through the mill here tonight. I can't hear him yet, Spencer, so let me know when you get that sorted out. You got it muted on your end, Jeff, maybe?
Got me now?
Yeah, we got you there. Jeff Gottler, spotter extraordinaire. You were down at the Roar before 24 in Daytona on the weekend.
Got me now?
You got to go back. Yeah, we got you. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
So, we're just explaining you had to be in Daytona last week. Now you've got to be in Daytona next week. Let's talk about that and how that's going for you.
Gotcha.
I think you need to watch me and not the show, Jeff. He's behind us on the Zoom.
It's doing good. We came down last week. Actually, this year we're actually come down for like 40 some days to start with the Roar this weekend, and then carry into the Rolex, and then we roll right into Speed Week. So instead of going back and forth, we actually are gonna stay down the entire time. We come to the same house every year, so. With everything else that I've got booked, and I'm able to last minute fill in on any spots for Speed Weeks or whatever, and so as we get closer to Speed Weeks, we'll get a little busy. But first, we got to do the Rolex, so that's what we got coming up this week, and we had the VP Challenge last week, so it's a little bit of busy time, and then we have a little downtime, and then we'll get busy again.
Spencer, you can roll some of the pictures and videos we sent from Jeff when he catches up. Jeff, let's talk a bit about what class are you spotting for, and how do you prepare as a spotter for a 24-hour shift? Yeah, run those pictures, Spencer.
So this past weekend, I did the VP Challenge, which is and that's the car you're seeing right there. It's a LMP3. So we were kind of the highlight for Saturday and Sunday. So we actually had 2 races. So this was a little bit different. This is for a kid, Marco Kasich out of BC. And so with him, he's never been in these cars before, never been on the high banks. So it's basically working through a lot of things, that making sure we're all on the same page. I could talk a lot, but if he's not picking up what I'm laying down, it really doesn't mean a lot. So so for this weekend that just passed, that was those challenges. Coming up this weekend's a totally different team. It's a team out of Denmark. It's an LMP2 car. To be honest, I don't even know the drivers. I stopped into their paddock on Saturday, and we said hi. That was about it. So so it's a whole different. And those guys that come from overseas, they have their own wants, and they're very strict on what they want. And so basically try to not get their you get what they want for each driver, basically. So I've got that, and then also I've got an MX5 car. So I'm actually doing 2 classes this weekend coming up. So again, it's going to be pretty busy.
So wait a minute, how do you do 2 classes? You go between at the same time, or is this when you shift with one and then you take a shift with the other? How does that whole thing work out for you?
Sorry, I'm not picking you up at all.
Yeah, you're supposed to watch us on the link, not the show. It'll catch up. All right, we have to cut Jeff loose there, Spencer.
I can't hear you guys at all.
All right, we'll let Jeff go, Spencer. Let's move on from that. Tell him we said thanks. We'll send him a message. Thanks, Jeff, for trying. Good luck this weekend out there, as he is in Daytona trying to make it work from the Rolex 24. Travis, let's go back to Travis, see how that works for him now. Travis, is your link any better now? We're not having a great day. Adam took all the technology with him to Mexico. All right, looks like I'm on my own then, are we? Let's jump into the Burger Barn videos of the week. Please let them work, Spencer. It's been a trying night. Let's go for it. Whatever we got. Just send me something. Okay, so this is go-karts. This is wild. This is Alex Smolders, and you may have to show this a couple times, Spencer. This is about as violent as an indoor go-kart, wreck can happen. Just the way they hook, it is crazy on this. He was all right. Got out a bit shooken up, but see if you can show that one again and slow it down. Just the way he gets hooked here, and the way he goes head first into the barrier. Now, thank goodness those plastic barriers are there. That could have been so much worse. And oh man, see, that's concrete right behind it. So thankfully the plastic was there to do its job. All right, let's see what else we got. Maybe another video from the indoor stuff. Okay, this is just straight up payback. Now look at this guy cutting through the infield, just trying to make a payback. Oh, and he gets him. I heard it was a wild race, this whole division, but show that one again, Spence. So you just wait, cutting right through the infield. That's something you did at the go-kart rental tracks with your buddies back in the day. And that was for the lead and the win, I believe, too. Craziness. All right, what else we got? This is just more your winter boredom stuff. What do racers do when they got nothing else to do? Well, they line up all the cars color-coded, and they have the treadmill 500. What car is going to outlast? Take your pick. Yellow Lambo, or is it going to be the post office mail truck? They have a good battle here at the end, but this is how we're spending our time in the winter times. And just when you think the truck's out of it, no. Lambo's out. Lambo's out. Oh, and the mail truck wins. Next one. What else we got? Oh, we don't need to see. Now they got blue against black. You can change that. It's a bit redundant, but. Okay. Spectator. Should be one-on-one races. This is just spectator all-out enduros. Like, this is insanity to me. One, people will call insurance, but I think we could get away with this insurance-wise. Not smart, but how many cars are out there? To me, that's just insane. And is the truck really going to win the feature? That's pretty well. Another one. Multi-car spectator races. And I think somebody, like, this stuff starts to get wild out there. And the blades are cutting up the middle. All right, that's enough of that. What else we got? Oh, check this out. So this is a drag race. The Chevy gets crazy, but stop it for me, Spencer, right here. Stop it, stop it, stop it. What's that sticking out of the hood? That's his legs, man. Roll it, and we'll watch it again. That is the driver's legs. He backs himself out of the windshield, and he's okay. How is that even possible? To me, this is insane. You know, what a wild wreck.
Oh my God.
Legs out the windshield. How do you not break his legs? How do you not lose his legs? That's wild. I don't know if we got anything else or not, but that's pretty wild stuff. Got anything else, Spencer? Is that where we at? All right. Doug Leonard should be joining us shortly. I think I told Doug 8:30 today. Let's see what I told him. We'll get to Doug in just a second. Dougie is my right-hand man on Friday nights at Ush Weekend, also Super Car Series race director, does a lot of stuff, and also does a ton of stuff at Merrittville Speedway as well. And, you know, there's nobody else I'd rather go into battle with other than Dougie. Well, maybe Spencer. But Doug's got our backs. Let me know when we're ready to go to Doug. Doug, how you doing? You there, man? Hey, Doug. How's it going? Oh, Spencer just shoot me right now. Not sure what's up with Doug. All right, we'll get back to that in a second. As we mentioned, the Rolex 24s this weekend, lots of stuff going on. Let's go to, I guess, the Laguna Seca Raceway story I was talking about earlier with Travis. Not sure if you got him back. Let me send me Doug when you got him. But Laguna Seca Raceway, same story as a lot of places. You know, it's been around for 57 years, or actually longer than that, I believe. And so much stuff going on there where, you know, a community group will move in and they'll try and, you know, oust the racetrack because it's too loud or it's too noisy. But when the racetrack was built, it was in the middle of nowhere. So it's insane that, you know, this will happen. They'll all come in and try and push everybody out. So they've actually come up with a bunch of stuff here. And, yeah, there's the story. So it's been there since 1957. I'll go on to the next slide, Spencer. Let's cruise through a couple of these things. So the track was sponsored by Mazda Raceway. But this is the one that gets me. In the bottom half of this screenshot, it says, they already have limits placed on them by the county, including how many days they can race per year, how many spectators they can show up, usually 50, fewer than 5,000, and even how loud the cars can be. And the next one, let's see what else we got in that. There's just some wild information. So this is a group that was trying to prevent a super highway many years ago, 67 years ago, and now they're trying to shut down the speedway. So it's just tough. We're under attack at all times. Just a crazy story. Let's try Doug Leonard again. Doug, are you there, man? How's it going?
I am. Hi, guys. Sorry about that.
That's all right. We're struggling tonight. Looks like Adam took all the technology with him to Mexico. We've been fighting it all. I don't have my comments. I don't have Adam. We lost Travis. Jeff was a mess. Tried to talk to you. Man, if this were your race team, I'd just park it tonight and go drinking. But
Hey, in the back screen, I think I've watched Ryan Turner drive about 27,000 miles.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I see him on the screen, and he's been there for about 30 minutes. I think he's done a bunch of miles.
Oh, we've had Ryan? I haven't seen Ryan either. Spencer, you didn't tell me we had Ryan Turner.
Oh, he's in there.
Okay, well, can we have Ryan at the same time? Or is that going to really throw off the Matrix, honestly?
Don't bug me.
All right, Doug, let's talk about going to Florida and your role down there with the Super Dirt Car Series. You get to start off the winter end of things. What's it like to be down at Volusia and running some of the biggest shows with everybody watching?
I mean, it's cool. It's definitely a good break from ending the season in November and getting into February. I mean, I had the privilege of went last year. Beautiful weather that we had. We're parked down by the gator pond, so it's cool to do some laps around the gator pond and look for the gators and find them and take a few pictures of them and then get in some good racing. I mean, we had a meeting last night amongst the Super Dirt Car Series staff and some of the staff members from World Racing Group. Had about 50 people on a Zoom call. We're excited. We've got, I think Dean said he's got 41 that have committed to coming down, so it'll be some good racing, probably 4 heat races and all that stuff, and some good features. A little bit of a change this year that they're going to pay out the top 3 in points as well as winning that big gator, and the point champion also is a guaranteed starter for Super Dirt Week.
The modified Super Dirt Car Series has just been strong as ever, it seems, lately. Even with the short track Super Series and what they've done, it seems like they've done a great job of not stepping on each other's toes and keeping things straight. And that's been great for the race teams, as we've seen a lot of them able to compete. But, man, the Super Dirt Car Series still strong as ever. You can catch all those races on Dirt Vision. Doug, let's switch over to Merrittville for a minute. You also run a lot of things down at Merrittville. How are things shaping up at Merrittville for the 2024 season? It seemed like a couple years ago the modifieds might have been in trouble, but they've really rebounded. And I'm here with my drinking circles that a few more guys have jumped up this past week, and it's going to be an exciting modified field again in 2024 at Merrittville. Yeah,
I mean, and Don's put in a good package. As much as we've had some people go against the sale panel idea, he's trying to help the racers and give that cheap, affordable option. That W16's definitely done that. We had a strong sportsman class. So the evolution is definitely there. I mean, we're hearing anywhere from 20 to 22 358 modified. So it's all ebb and flow. It means you have some high lows and some high years and some low years and all that stuff, but it seems to be rebounding.
Yeah. Talk about Oshweekend, another good year on the charts there as well. We have a lot of big sprint car events coming up. We announced a 5K to win, a 10K to win, and a 20K to win, all with great start money, including the 20th National pay $2,000 to start. I mean, that's been amazing. You've been there through the glory years when we had all the sanctioning bodies back, and that's one thing that you've been kind of on me to get it straightened out. I think we've got it back. We have no conflict. So ESS, Great Lakes Super Sprints, SOS, and our guys all together under all 3 of those major race events. I think we could be at 75 cars again. What do you think?
No, I mean, that's nothing beats a Saturday at Sprint Car Nationals when you can get over 70 cars and we're into that 6 heat format. Just the qualifying and into those heat races and then into the C mains and the B mains and the A mains. And then we have like the dashes. And yeah, it's just, it's excitement from the moment the gates open to the final checkered flag.
All right, Doug, we won't keep you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great week in Florida, and maybe we can get you to check in with us from down there if you got some time We'd love to have you when you got your boots on the ground.
Sounds good. Give me a ring.
See you, Doug. All right, Spencer. Give me Travis back or Ryan Turner or both if you can, if you dare. I'll take Ryan if he's been waiting and if he's ready, but let him know we're ready for him. I couldn't see him on my screen, so I didn't know we had him there. So I apologize to Ryan, who is working on being a dad, getting ready to go. Travis is back. Can you hear me, Trav? How you doing?
I'm back. Less choppy. Still though.
Yeah, less choppy. Choose cone. Did you like it last year, Travis? Choose cone at Oshwegan?
Oh, I loved it because I couldn't draw worth a snot and had to start at the back at a lot of the features. And I actually got, like, if I wouldn't have been able to pass all the cars I did without the choose cone. So I loved the choose cone.
That brings me to my next proposal. Since choose cone, I didn't get my ass slapped on that because I jumped in both of you. I said I'd take the blame if everybody got wrecked. And now it's not my problem anymore because we all survived year one with it.
Not just because I was coming from the back, though, too.
Whatever happens in 24 is not my problem. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm the biggest time miser we have there, trying to shave time off, but I think it's time for a pole dash instead of a top 8 redraw. What's your thoughts on that as a driver? You make it in the top 8, you get to make your own destiny instead of just drawing for a pole shot.
I would agree with that, but you got to group it with time lapses, not just the luck of the draw thing. I'm totally.
Okay, I'll note that down. Let's bring Ryan on if we got him. Ryan Turner, how you doing, bud? So are you on your way to Florida or not on your way to Florida? On your way to work? On your way to get more diapers? Super dad, what's up these days?
We're just about to Pittsburgh, so we're on our way to Florida.
You know, Ryan, it's super cool that the 360 cars are going to get to Volusia and some other places instead of just East Bay, you know, going forward. You know, what's your thoughts on going to such an iconic place like that and getting to kick off your season with a lot of extra races that a lot of the guys at home won't get to do?
I would have loved to start at maybe a little bit of a smaller track for our first couple of laps, but no, very excited. You know, I've been watching lots of video trying to figure out what to do with the car, and as a driver, you know, any seat time we can get, it definitely helps. And you know, it seemed like, you know, the 360s that went last year had a really good time. You know, we felt like we missed out on it, and we're really excited to get there this year.
Awesome. Travis, anything you want to talk to Ryan about?
Guys, I'm jealous. Yeah, Volusia's like the one track I'm super jealous of that you get to try. And from what Jordan Poirier told me, just get your headrest ready to lean your head on it a little bit, because if it goes green, and it can get a little hard.
Yeah, we made a couple cockpit adjustments to how I sit in there. Hopefully it'll help me a little bit, because I heard a lot of people fell off the wheel last year. And, you know, it makes it even tougher when you're not in race shape yet. So, you know, probably by about the third night, we should be good to go. And Clint, if you don't mind me touching on that pole dash, the only issue I see with that pole dash, and, you know, I may not have an issue with it as long as we make the redraw, is you give more laps to the top guys, and more laps obviously gives more time for them to dial their car in. You know, and it'd be very tough to beat anyone in that top 8 if you have a bad night, right? So, you know, there's obviously some pluses and some negatives to that.
I love it. It's definitely something that we'll be talking about at our upcoming drivers meeting, and obviously leading up to that.
Time hot laps in your groups. What do you think about that?
I like the timed hot laps. I definitely do. It makes you, you know, it makes you perform every time you hit the track. You cannot slack for a second. You know, you basically choose your own destiny as a driver.
You know, I think that's where the pole dash idea came back.
To the top 4. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's where the pole dash idea came from. Was, you know, it was my brother Mike who said, look, you guys make us do all this stuff, and then you make us redraw that don't mean shit. Why don't you just put us where you want us anyways? At least this way you can kind of make your own destiny bit. But definitely great points. Ryan, let's talk about, you know, you've gone over to the Nitro 54 team with Steve Lyons and Dan Anacoke. Obviously seems to be a great marriage over there. You know, things going to be just as good as ever in 2024 for you guys, you figure?
We're hoping. You know, the team's goal is, you know, when Nitro 54 shows up to the track, you know, that people are a little bit scared that we're there. You know, we want to be a potent team. You know, Liam and myself, we're trying to go out and, it's no secret. Dan and Steve and Brandon, they won a championship at Oswego. So that's the number one goal. And, obviously wins after that.
Right on. I won't keep you too much. We're going to let you travel safe, bud. And I appreciate you checking in with us. It's good to hear from you. And good luck representing all of us down there in Florida this week. And maybe we can get you on next Tuesday.
Awesome. We'll try to keep you updated on Facebook as much as we can. And thank you for having me.
Thanks, Ryan. Good luck, man.
Good luck, bud.
Spencer, you can bring back Jeff if you've got him clean. We think we've got his stuff cleaned up now. And as long as you can talk to him, let him know we need the live Jeff, not the Memorex Jeff. We will be in good shape. If you can hear me now, Jeff, jump back on there. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. That's much better. So quickly, I don't know if you heard Travis, but Jeff was talking about, you go in and you've never met these drivers. You got to work with them on probably the longest tiring night of the whole season. Language can be an issue at some point.
That's going to be the other thing. You got to remember on the 24 hours, people come from around the world. And and a lot of these guys that come from overseas, they've never used a spotter before. So when you go to them, hey, what do you like? What do you don't like? Well, I don't know. I've never used a spotter. They don't know what they like. So you try to, during the test and everything that's leading up to it, is kind of feel what every driver wants and what their likes and dislikes are. So it presents its different types of struggles that you normally wouldn't get through your midsummer grind with the late models or whatever you're spotting for that weekend.
Jeff, let's talk about the other guy. You did a lot of work with Frankie Muniz in the past from Malcolm in the Middle.
I did, yes.
What's Frankie doing this year? Is he back racing? Will you be working with him at all?
Well, there's some talks of it. Just as of when I left the track the other day, that there could be some. My ARCA schedule was kind of open, but I got a call just the other night that it might not be so open now. So obviously, I don't know. I haven't heard the official word, but there's rumblings that maybe I'll be back with him. But really, what I'm really looking forward to do for this year coming up is your next guest is Kyle Steckley. I'm going to do all of Kyle's ASA races, so I'm really, really looking forward to working with him, and we kick that off also down here at New Smyrna here in another couple weeks.
Travis, you got any questions for Jeff?
I'm just a little bit bored of that, but so for the Rolex 24, where's your spotters? Like, where do you stand for that? On top of the spotter, or? There's two spots. They'll open up the media suite if you want to stay inside. That's where that picture is there. That's from the media suite. Or you can go up to the regular spot up top if you want to stay outside. This past weekend was pretty chilly for down here. It was 44 degrees, so I always try to stay inside if I can. And we do in groups of two. I do it with another guy, and we trade off. We have shifts just like a normal job, right? We check in at their time that we were supposed to and check out and try to get a couple hours sleep, quick bite, and get right back at it. So, but those are the two places that we spot from.
Jeff, let's get back to the Kyle Steckley situation. So, we kind of led off this program saying, you've been around the NASCAR Pinty Series, now the NASCAR Canada Series for a long time as well. Adam's going to make a case on the show next week. I think that APC may be the stepping stone now. Joe Lawrence makes a big announcement this week. Kyle Steckley makes a big announcement. Connor James going down there to race CRA Street Stocks. We have a lot of guys from that realm that are making that big step now. We've seen Kyle Steckley run very well. I think as a media guy, we've watched him mature since he got from the mini stock and everything he's done. He can cut a good interview and a promo now. The kid is the total package and a great mechanic. What's the one thing this kid's missing, if anything, Jeff?
Well, there isn't, to be honest. And kind of the backstory, I've always tried the last couple of years to get a gig, when he needed somebody. And when Scott needed somebody, I was busy. And when I was open, they had somebody. So we were able to finally get together in the fall last year. So when we were down at Nashville, it was actually the first time working with them. And I've worked with a lot of guys, and as I said to Scott, I'm not blowing smoke, but the kid's good. The kid is good. He's really not short on anything. You know, obviously there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve going to all these places that are new. But you know, we went to Nashville. Kid's never been to Nashville. It's a hard track because it's hard on tires there. So you really have to baby your stuff. And he did good. I'm really looking forward to this year.
Yeah, I think Kyle's shown even when he went down those races, he could be really good. Travis, what do you got for us?
Oh, jealous of this guy with all these spotting jobs. I used to spot for a lot of my dad's customers in the engine business. So, like, how'd you like Rolex? How'd you land that gig?
So actually, it's through my IndyCar connection, which I just signed my deal with McLaren. So I'm going back with McLaren for the Indy 500 this year.
Hey.
So it's, you know, it's just like anything else. It's all networking. And let me tell you, just doing it, I'm very fortunate to be able to do a lot of the things that I do. So I definitely don't take that for granted. But it was through networking, through actually through my IndyCar networks, how I ended up doing it. Last year was the first year, and then they brought me back again this year. So we're definitely looking forward to it.
Jeff, is spotting your full-time gig now? How do you have time for anything else?
It's not. So my wife and I, we own a logistics company, and that's kind of our Monday to Friday, but we can work remotely, and that's why we're down here and we can do that. So she looks after the office when I'm on the road, and but it's slowly, you know, started to progress where it is starting to get busy, and now it's, you know, we went ahead and we got the U.S. visa so we can work, you know, legally no matter where we are, and so it's slowly kind of getting that way. It's who knows where you're going to go or what you're going to be involved in, but I'm pretty much take everything I can get, and you're always learning. So who knows what's around the corner?
Anything else, Travis, before I cut him loose?
I'm good.
Hey, Jeff, we appreciate it. What are you going to be doing with the are you going to be doing any NASCAR Canada stuff this year?
So yeah, so right now I will have a handful of races that I'm scheduled for with whoever's in the 3 car. If anyone wants to take guesses who's going to be in there. I will be doing a handful of races with them when I don't have any conflicts down here. So yeah, I will be around at some. I just don't know quite how many yet.
Would you say this is the silliest season we've seen with the NASCAR Canada Series in a while? I mean, the upheaval right now, like we can't even talk about a lot of it yet, but it's just been the whole division's kind of blown up, and everybody is going new places.
Not only that, you haven't seen some of the news that's going to come out, so stay tuned.
Yeah, I tried to get Kevin Lacroix on to announce who his big announcement was going to be, but he said we won't get that till the 500. You're smiling because you got some inside stuff too that you got to keep, obviously team orders. But I appreciate you, Jeff. We're going to be following you a lot.
No
I mean, you just dropped some big races. The Rolex NASCAR Canada Series, on the road with Steckley, Indy 500. There's no way we're not going to be up your ass all summer expecting you to report in here on Tuesdays. Okay,
whatever you need, we're always here for you. I definitely appreciate you having me on.
No, we appreciate it. Good luck. Get some rest as much as you can prior to the weekend, and good luck this weekend, Jeff.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jeff Spotting at the Rolex 24. Such a cool deal. Like, oh, man. Like, I get paid to go around and talk about racing, but he gets paid to go around and talk to racers. I mean, I think that's even cooler.
Yeah, I was always jealous of you when you guys with the truck series are too. I was super jealous of him getting to stay up all night in daytime.
Oh, be awesome. Kyle Steckley's on the line now. The ears must have been burning. We were talking about him, and now he shows up. Now we actually had it planned. So bring me Kyle when you're ready, Spencer. Let's make this unmuted too, so we don't have those issues. Let me know when we're good to go.
How's it going, guys?
Kyle, good to see you, man. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Just driving home right now. Sorry about the lighting, but hopefully here.
Let's talk, Kyle. Big news this week. ASA National Tour, going to go down and run that. Big news for you this week. You know,
To partner up with
He's cutting out.
how long have you been hanging on to that one in your back pocket? Have you known for a while now?
Yeah, we've been working on it for quite a while. I mean, we met up with Noah and Mark Rett and Terry Jones there at the last Delaware race in Ontario when we were running the fall brawl, and got talking to them then and really didn't have anything planned at the moment. And then we started talking to them more, and we're parked beside them down at the Derby, and seeing how they were operating their deal with Noah Gregson, and then got talking to them about that, and we ended up working out a deal to run the whole ASA deal with the support of APC Auto Parts Centers, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Kyle, what does this mean for the rest of your schedule? Will we see you in the APC series? Will we see you in the NASCAR Canada series? There's lots of questions around what this means for 22 racing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely plan to run as many APC races as I'm able to with our schedule down in the States. Obviously, the USA and ASA series is going to be our number one priority with Rhett Jones Racing, but we're going to see how it goes and do as many APC series races as we can. I think, it's one of the best series we have in Canada in the competition, and everyone in it is great, and I have a ton of fun running in that series, so I plan to continue doing that. And we'll see where the NASCAR Canada Series goes, and if I can find some sponsorship, I'd love to run some races.
Travis.
I'm just going to go with talk about all the older tracks you get to run, like Nashville, and Five Flags with the Derby, and what other tracks do they schedule? I know there's a lot of cool ones.
Yeah, they've got them two, which are obviously really cool, and I've been able to race on them a couple times now. And then they've got places like Winchester Speedway, which is super high bank. I got the chance to go and watch the races there last fall, and it's really cool. Places like Anderson Speedway, which is a small quarter mile where they run the Redbud 400, to places like the Milwaukee mile-long track that definitely is going to be really fast in a super late mile. And I'm excited to do the 10 race schedule that has 10 different tracks, really unique tracks on the schedule.
Yeah, awesome, man. I think the only real conflict that I saw was Peterborough, and then the next day you'd have to be in Wisconsin. So if we can figure out how to teleport you from Peterborough out to Wisconsin, you'll be all right, man. We'll make it work. So great to hear. A lot of talk about things going on in the NASCAR Canada Series. We'll wait for any news coming out of the 22 Racing Series there. Won't keep you, man. We want to get you on next week when we get you home and get a good interview. Or maybe we'll wait till after you go out and win your first race here at Speed Weeks. How cool would that be to knock that one down?
Yeah, that'd be huge. I mean, the ASA Series has the best competitors out there. I think, guys like Bubba Pollard, Stephen Nasse, all the top teams there. So it's definitely not going to be easy. It's going to be a tough task, but I'm confident in that Rhett Jones Racing team. They've got some great equipment, and they're doing everything right. So hopefully we can go out to New We've got a test under our belt now as a team, and hopefully run up front and maybe contend for a win.
All right, Kyle, we'll let you go. Thanks, man, for stopping by. We appreciate your time tonight, and we'll get you on in the coming weeks. Kyle Steckley, man, it's crazy to see these guys, go, like, it seems like the year before the pandemic, he was a mini stalker here and just came out and ran so well and did so good, Travis. It's been awesome to see guys like him and Joe Lawrence get these opportunities in the States.
Me following the CASCAR series and the NASCAR Pinty series all my whole life on TSN and stuff like that. I knew his dad and stuff. I knew he'd be a good one. I've been watching him, and these super late models. I can see why he went that route now, because like the cars tours, like those cars are way different than like what's here locally. Like those cars are truck arm cars and a lot more like a Bush chassis and stuff, whereas he's going, like those cars he's running are just gonna be like an APC car with a little bit more motor. I'm thinking a super late, so I can see why he went that way. And all those cool tracks he gets to run is awesome.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, going against Bubba Pollard, Stephen Nasse, those are all big name guys who are only going to sharpen your sword a bit more the more you get out there. What's your plans for 2024, Travis, as we wind down this hour? Thanks for stopping by. You back full time in the sprint car this year, and what's your deal?
Yeah, that's the plan. My only true focus will be like I want to get back in the top 5 and the points at Usher Weekend, and so that's the main. And then Merrittville, if they have some races. And I had a couple of ESS races last year and had fun doing that. Fulton, I loved that place, so I'll probably go back then. I haven't seen the Oswego yet, but if you give us the night off when they're at Ranceville, I'll probably hit that one too.
We do. We have worked with Peter to make that happen.
Figured.
So you guys will be able to race Ranceville. You know, what's going on the broadcasting and on the media side? What's happening over there?
Southern Ontario Dirt Show, Season 3. I joke and call it the Doing It for Dale season. But, me and Jonathan, we're doing second week right now, just letting the news build up a little bit in the dirt world because we're focusing on dirt only. And, 360 at Volusia, so lots of locals going. Stiers and all them going down, and Lucas Smith's even going. So me and Jonathan will cover that. And I just watched him play a gig. He went and played his first gig played by himself, guitar. Where was it? Club in Hamilton. And I was pumped for that. So reminded me of you a little bit while you're up there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot to go out. And I saw Jonathan make the post. Hey, man, it takes balls to get up there and carry a show by yourself. That's why I had to get you in here tonight, because I didn't want to be alone all night by myself. So I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. We had an adventure show, had some tech glitches, but we always work through that. So, I mean, what else I got on my list here? Anything I was missing? Anything I wanted to talk to you about, sir? No, I think we're pretty close. Just want to mention, Kyle Steckley and the ASA Stars National Tour can be seen on RacingAmerica.com, where you can also find the APC, the series produced by us guys at G-Force TV. So we're excited to be down there with RacingAmerica.com. They've got monthly and yearly subscriptions that are very cost-effective right now. So check that out, RacingAmerica.com. All kinds of stuff. And that's actually owned by the Race Team Alliances. So it's crazy to think that, all the NASCAR teams are owning this and putting their media right alongside our guys from Ontario. So that's super cool. I don't know, man. Adam's having a good time. He's actually told me they had so much fun yesterday that he's not having any fun today. If that makes sense.
Oh, I understand what that means. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go too hard on the first day, bro. You gotta pace yourself for the week,
Yeah,
But,
I've never went on something like that, but I'm sure it's kind of like Super Dirt Week kind of rules.
Well, I've been to Dirt Week with you, and I'm not afraid to tie one on all night if we got to. And I went to Mexico with Adam, and I drank water, and he got piss tanked every day and night, which was totally the changing of roles. But no, it was good, man. I think we'll wrap things up from there. We have a great season coming up. I mean, we're almost there. Speed Weeks kind of kicks it off officially. We'll have a big display at Motorama with Oshweek, that's when all our racing friends in Ontario get together, and that'll be here before we know it. Was that 8 weeks' time, something like that? It's crazy.
There's something about Motorama confirmed to do a live show. So Southern Art Show will be live at Motorama. So come up and support our show again. There's at least 50 people at our deal last year, so that was a good deal. And thanks for having tonight. Can't wait.
Thanks, Travis. Thanks, Spencer, for all you do. We worked through the glitches. We got it done. Sorry for anybody in you who was contributing to the chat. I didn't get any of that feed tonight, so we were kind of on our own.
Me neither.
On an island. We were like Martians out here tonight. But thanks, Travis, for stopping by. Thanks to all our guests for stopping by. We'll be back at you next Tuesday once again with another edition of Race Chat. If you got anything you want us to talk about, send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. It's almost here. We'll see you soon, everybody. Thanks.